come follow the brick wall. It's your girl Eva K, and I'm ready to eat. Hey, who ready to eat with me? Who ready to eat? Come bread with me, let's break bread. Come break bread with me, let's break bread. We about to eat this food and get fed. Come break bread with me, let's break bread. Now bow your... Hey, it's your girl, your host Eva K, and I'm here with the amazing, the beautiful Miss Aleta Evans.
Hey everybody.
How you doing, Chocolate?
I'm alright. How you doing?
Good. Look, y'all, I'm excited for this video. Let's get out our shout outs. Today's video was sponsored by Brandi Kandi University. June 25th, she's going to have a class to teach girls how to do natural hair from ages 15 to 18. Free. They get free mannequins, hair supplies, all that. I'm going to drop all the information in the description box below. Our food came from Dose's Jamaican Cafe. I have the salmon, the cabbage, and the garlic potatoes. You have the rice and peas, plantains, and oxtails. So yeah, we're gonna say our grace and we're gonna get it in. We got a lot to talk about. Bow your head, girl. Now we thank you for our food, for our food. Father God, we thank you. Father God, we thank you. Amen. Amen.
Amen. As much as I watch your show in my head, I didn't think you was in prayer. So it threw me off. So I opened my eyes, but
listen, that throws everybody off. They like, look, I ain't no child. But that's my prayer.
No, that's cool. It's cool. God heard you, baby. He blessed this food.
What you been up to? Okay, so you go by Aleta now, more professional, I guess. But I know her from as Simone, 2800 made.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Class of 08.
Yeah, hey, you better know it, classmate.
Best class ever.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, on becoming an RN. We're in her lovely establishment. It's beautiful. So yeah.
Thank you. You making me blush because I don't talk about it a lot.
You don't. Look, we had brunch and just learning your journey and your accomplishments. It's not bragging. Just the little dark-skinned girls need to know what's up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't care that shit. Just I don't be wanting to. Oh, I graduated. Like, okay.
Yeah, she was mad because her old man posted that she graduated from RN school.
I wasn't mad, but
I'm on his page like, wait a minute, this a link? I had to share it to the whole group
probably
text.
because it took me so long, so I feel like it's something that can be easily attained. It just took me longer because I played around. So
you think a RN is easily to be attained?
Yeah, with hard work, yeah. I'm not even gonna say it's hard. If you want it, yeah.
So tell me your journey.
Okay, so for those of you that went to high school with me, y'all know I played basketball. It was my goal to play basketball, but
speak up a little bit so we can hear you.
I'm sorry. It was my goal to play basketball, but I kind of didn't want to put in that work that it required to play. And for that reason alone, I gave up basketball. But I always stayed in school. Like, even though I wasn't doing well in my classes.
You gave up basketball in high school or college?
College. Okay. I started my first year in college, and midway through the season, I wasn't even going to practice no more. That's a story in itself, but I had played basketball since I was like 8 years old. So I was tired. I was burnt out. I wanted something different. I didn't know what I wanted, but I wanted something different.
Got you.
Now I miss it every day. So,
So did you have your son in high school?
No, I had him my second year in college.
Got you.
No. Yeah, my second year in college.
So what do you think caused burnout? Because I see a lot of these athletes starting young, and I'm like, I feel like they being pushed too hard. They put so much on them.
To be honest, the burnout comes from wanting to do stuff other than that. Because you try to do school, you try to do sports, you try to do friends, you try to do parties, you try to do everything. So the burnout comes from wanting to live too fast. You want me to be honest? I was ready to live. I was tired of going to practice. I was tired of sitting in practice. That's just what it was. I didn't even have to be doing nothing. I just didn't feel like running. Didn't feel like shooting free throws.
Gotcha.
Just different scenery. So when I got to college and they tell you, oh, you got to practice twice a day, that was a killer.
While your roommates out living life.
I didn't have a roommate.
Oh.
I didn't have a roommate.
But you got to see other people living life, but you stuck at practice.
Yeah. That I told you midway through the season I was done, and I wish I wouldn't have gave up that fast, but I did. I was happy too. I quit. Nobody knew. My whole family was like asking me questions about it. I was lying, but they finally saw. I moved back instantly. I moved back to Knoxville as soon as May hit. I was back in Knoxville. I had an apartment and everything waiting on me.
So what school did you go to?
Chattanooga State.
That's right, I was at UTC.
Mm-hmm.
I thought y'all was just coming down there to party. I didn't realize you was living there.
I lived there, but I wouldn't stay in chat longer than class time. Once class, I was back in Knoxville. Once class was over,
Got
I
you.
was gone.
That makes sense. I never knew that, Simone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness. So, where did you graduate college from?
Walter State.
So, tell us your journey with school.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said you played around. And I got a lot of my friends wanting to be nurses. So,
Well, my thing was, and I'll tell anybody, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So every year I changed my major. That's what messed me up. I couldn't take anything seriously. And I'll tell people, if you don't know what you want to do, unless you're taking general ed courses like math, English, science, don't go into people's school plan. It's going to cost you in the long run. It will
especially with
cost
these
you.
loans.
And that's the thing. I took out, girl, I was taking out under, I didn't even need the money. My mama told me about loans and how easy it was to get them. They were sending them so fast, Eva.
That's a lot of our downfalls, because they sending us money we never seen before. Not realizing if we don't go to class, we got to pay this back. Or even once we done and we got that piece of paper hung up on our mama's wall, we still going to have to pay that money back.
I blew so much money. I quit going to classes. I didn't even take finals. Finals, Lee, what's that? I did that for 4 years. Had a baby while I was in the middle of doing all of that. I had my son 2010. That was my sophomore year in college. Well, technically a sophomore, but I wasn't really a sophomore. Kept going to school, never passed. So when I left Pellissippi, I took off for a semester. I went to pharmacy tech school in that time, so I got my pharmacy tech certification.
Okay.
Couldn't find a job. Like, nobody would hire me because with that certification, back then, I think it was like 2012, back then, they was paying like $13, $14 an hour with that certification, but it was pharmacy tech, one of those things, you can go on the job and get on the job training and sit for the test and boom. So the jobs was paying for like Walgreens, CVS, things like that. They were paying for people to just go sit for the test. Meanwhile, I'm already certified. They don't want to pay me 14 when they can just pay somebody else 12, 9, 10, let them go get certified. Then by that time, they're going to get a raise to 14, which is really entry level, but to them, it's like they got a raise. I never could get a job. By me not being able to get a job, my mama had been trying to get me to go to nursing school since I graduated high school. And I didn't want to. I don't want to be a nurse. I don't know what I want to be, but I want to be a nurse.
Shout out to Murray, because Murray been a nurse for,
Yes.
what, 30 years?
Let's see, 95, and 2025 will be 30 years.
That's dope. So your mama been pushing you to go to nursing school. You was being rebellious. You didn't want to go.
Not at all.
So did you do the route of like CNA, LPN, and then RN?
Kinda, because I worked as a caregiver, and even though I didn't have a title of CNA, I did so much that when I got my LPN, I had experience using bed bands scans, changing briefs, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't titled as a CNA. I was just a pharmacy tech that worked as basically like a CNA. But I went through LPN at TCAP, and I tell anybody, if you going, you a champ, you a beast, because they don't understand. Only nurses understand nursing school. Anybody watching this that went to nursing school know exactly what I'm talking about. It give you a run for your money. You cannot play in nursing school. You can go in there and think you're going to study 1 to 2 hours a month? No.
Not a month.
Not happening. Not happening at all. But, I mean, if you make it through LPN school, you can make it through RN school, and so further. LPN is the hardest.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So how long was you an LPN?
In July, no, in August it made 7 years.
Wow. So what made you be like, okay, I did this LPN, I've been an LPN for 7 years, I'm about to go back and get my RN?
Because I had already taken class, I had been in school so long, I did pass some of my classes. It wasn't many, but I passed some.
You so real.
I'm saying, like, I didn't just fail all of them, but I failed much more than I passed.
Mm.
So I was like, those classes gonna go to waste. It was basically my English classes. I passed all my English classes. I didn't have a math class, science, none of that. I had taken all of them, but I withdrew, or I got incompletes or something. But I didn't want those English classes to go to waste. So I was like, it won't take me long. It took me longer than I thought it would, because I didn't want to take out no more loans. I paid out of pocket.
For RN school?
For my prerequisites. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
wow.
half of RN school, but I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I ended up paying for them out of pocket, which I would get on a payment plan. I would pay, they make you pay half or whatever it is at the beginning, then you just make payments after that. So I knew when school started, I at least gotta have half, and then a couple $100 for my books. But I really got out of it, because if I didn't need a book in class, or if I could go make copies at the library, I'm not buying that book.
Oh, so you was that student in class?
Yes.
Girl, people, you don't know how many times, can you meet me at the library so I can copy your book?
Oh no, the instructors leave a copy in there. I ain't even have to ask.
Oh.
Most instructors leave a copy of the book in the library.
So you just go in there and copy it?
Mm-hmm. I copied about 5 chapters at a time, because I know I wasn't about to go for every chapter. But
That's smart.
the only books I'm paying for in school is nursing books. Other books, no, I'm not doing it.
So you just graduated.
Mm-hmm.
How long was you in RN school?
Okay. So I started RN school in 2019. In May of 2019, I was 7 months pregnant. I ended up having my daughter in June, halfway through the semester. So I finished that semester in RN school. When I came back in the fall, situation happened where I had to withdraw. So I didn't start back until August of 2020. Looking back though, I really wasn't ready, because my daughter didn't go to daycare until she was 1. So I basically was at home with her, which was a good thing, because I didn't get to do that with my son.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed in school constantly. But it was just too intense. When I went back in August, I'm glad I only had 8 more months, because if I had to start completely over, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it. It was too much work in a short amount of time, and I was busy doing other things. I was working, I was being a mama. My son had football. I even started this company on Christmas break.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So where is that, like, where do you think your drive and that hustle come from? Because in that never give up spirit, you know how many people would have gave up? Like,
I always felt like it was attainable. Like, I always felt like if nothing happens crazy that'll throw me off, all I do is really sit down and do my work, and I'll get it.
that is amazing. Because you hear stories of people giving up and they just like, you know, they turn 40 and 50 and they wish they would have did this. But you,
My sister got a better story than me. She graduated from ETSU in December. Her journey, she been in nursing school a couple of times, and she found a way. She finally graduated with her BSN. The whole time she tried to get her ASN, it was like God was telling her, no, you done went to school this long, you're not coming out with no ASN. You get a BSN.
That's
And
dope.
she ended up on the path to BSN.
So are you done with school?
No.
Still not done.
I just applied to some schools like 2 nights ago. No, baby, I got student loans. Them people not getting their money until they do student loan forgiveness. I'm gonna be in school until they forgive us.
A professional student.
Absolutely. Try it.
So what you going back to school for now?
I don't know if I want my bachelor's or my master's.
Okay.
I applied to one program for bachelor's and one for master's, whichever one accept me. We'll go from there.
That's dope. Listen, if y'all don't hear nothing else from Miss Queen, go. Don't give up. So let's talk about your business you started in the midst of a pandemic, being a new mommy all over again, and being in nursing school.
Okay.
Which is elite.
Elite Care CPR Plus. The plus is for a multitude of things. Looking into that. So, I started this company because I always wanted to teach CPR classes. I've taken enough as a nurse to know that I wanted to teach them. But I couldn't find the information to become an instructor. Every time I would look on American Heart Association, it would say they have instructor courses, but there wasn't any close by. So basically, I was SOL. Okay, so COVID happened, which COVID opened a door. I know COVID has taken lives, but it still has opened doors for many people too. Whether you acknowledge it or not, it has. So it opened the door for me. I saw they had an instructor course. And I reached out to the guy. He lived in Florida, but he was doing virtual instructor courses. So because of that, I was able to take the course on my own time while I was in school. I was able to pick certain times of the day. I may only do it for 2 or 3 hours, finish up the next day. It probably took a course of a week and a half. Because I had withdrawn out of school in 2019, I was able to work and save my money. So in 2020, I had a couple dollars saved up. I was able to purchase all my supplies to teach the class. It was a step-by-step process, but I actually started teaching my first classes with the company, with the business logo and all of that. I was able to teach my first classes this past March. Before that, I got my start, and it was nobody but God. I got my start in the church. The church, due to COVID, was the only place that would let me teach my classes, and that ended up being short-lived just because of COVID and the amount of people that I had coming into the church. But nonetheless, I got my start in the church. So if you want to start a business or anything like that, reach out to some churches. If they have the space, they'll rent it out to you.
I would have never thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
I would have never thought of that. That's a good tip.
Oh yeah, it helped me. I mean, I think I taught maybe 8 to 10 classes in the church before this was ready for me to.
So how did you come up with your business name?
Yeah, God. Like when I say that, I know people think I be tripping, but I'm serious. None of this was in my mental August 2020. This came about from being in nursing school. I ultimately want to be a nursing instructor, like teach in a nursing program. That's my goal. I love to teach. I didn't realize I love to teach, but you learn a lot about yourself as you grow. So.
And what I'm hearing you saying is you're creating a whole lane that didn't exist. You couldn't find instructor courses. But now in July, you're going to be teaching instructor courses.
Yeah, Lord willing. Mm-hmm.
You went out and created a business that you saw a need for. That's crazy. That's why I told you, you're special. You got your own lane, and you have a major company backing you, the American Heart Association. Everybody know who that is, you know, and I think that's dope.
Well, American Heart Association is required. Like, if you're trying to get into nursing school, they require you to have CPR from American Heart. If it's not from American Heart, it's invalid. And this is for nursing programs. I want to say like surgical tech and medical assistant, things like that. They also require American Heart CPR classes. So when I started LPN school, I couldn't find a class for under $100. Back then, 7 years ago, they wanted $150, and I was devastated because I didn't have it. I wasn't working. I didn't want to take $150 for 2 or 3 hour class for nothing, and then I'm still have to go to school and still not be able to work. So, luckily I found a lady. I don't know if she teaches there now or not, but she taught at the fire department, and she did my class for like $50. That was back then, and I think she never charged more than $50 after that. But I mean, that was 7 years ago, so.
So is your goal to be affordable?
Yeah, but cost effective at the same time. You know, the thing I told a friend of mine about the ladies' class is, and now I know because I'm teaching this class as a nurse. She wasn't a nurse teaching that class.
Gotcha.
So it was information that I didn't know that lady omitted, in a sense. She didn't know how valuable that information was that needed to be shared because she wasn't in healthcare. All she was an instructor. So I'm able to teach the class from a nursing perspective. So it's certain heart rhythms that you can shock. I didn't know that, until I became a nurse. But people don't know this. Everyday people, when they take these classes, they hoping they come in, hear a few videos, do it, and leave, but they're not realizing that this is life-saving information. And I had to use it for my son before I was a nurse. My son was choking on a mucus plug. Lord have mercy, I still remember it. Yes, I still remember it. But, I panicked at the time, but now that I know what to do, I did what I was supposed to do, but how many people don't know that? You know what I'm saying? How many kids, they don't even recognize that their baby is choking and is not breathing, So I want to share that information.
That's scary. And two, I want to talk about the class that you want to offer. It's so much to talk about with you because you just fascinates me. You know what I'm saying? So Aleta is teaching a class this summer for teenagers. And she wants the class to be completely free. So they could come in, they could get their CPR license. That's if they want to be babysitters or, nannies or whatever the teenagers are doing or need it for. Just get the knowledge. How many students are you expecting?
84.
84 students. That's dope. How many can you teach at a time?
Bigger space, I could teach more, but right now I'm going to do 7. That way I can be intimate with them, tell them how to do things, explain things to them, because they're going to have questions. If they've never been introduced to this, they're going to have questions. So I want to be able to, I want to be able to, I want to be able to answer everybody's questions, demonstrate everything for everybody, but I also want them to know, if you want to teach this class, I want to give them a good example of how to teach the class, how to be forward with people. Don't be standoffish. Don't just have them come in and don't talk or engage with them, that type of thing. So.
And I definitely want to take the instructor class because I think that'd be dope.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. CPR class is like a weed game. Everybody do what they do, but everybody not available at the same time. Everybody don't offer the same thing either. So. And
I have never had an instructor that looked like you, either. Or that had a background as an RN. I've had CPR training. Even my last CPR training was on the job. Where all your coworkers go at one time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and I do those too. So if y'all need group training, let me know. I have a travel fee, but I can accommodate.
We're definitely gonna plug that because my CPR, he sat in a chair, and we watched the video and we did a staying alive,
Mhm.
staying alive, and we went home. So hearing that you could teach it from an RN perspective, I mean, he just sat there, he was like, yeah, we're gonna watch this video, we're gonna get out the little mannequin, and it was during COVID, so they didn't want us to put our mouth on it and stuff.
Mhm.
And that was it. American Heart Association, boom. But knowing that you come from a whole different perspective, it can give a whole different background, that's dope. So for your class, what do you need? Because we're gonna have to put all this out in the atmosphere. What do you
Right
need
now,
to teach us class for free?
Our goal mark for donations is 5,000. We're halfway there right now. What that does is it pays for every student's CPR card, which is valid for 2 years. But I'm also wanting to offer a scholarship to all the students that participate. Seniors, high school seniors, college students, high school graduates, they're going to have access to plenty of scholarships and grants. So I want to tailor this more towards high school students, getting them prepared to how to fill out for scholarships and grants, getting them prepared to get all that free money that people offer, but also to help them learn how to manage their money. Freshmen and sophomore are going to get a nice amount of money before school starts. That's theirs to do whatever they need to as far as school is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Juniors and seniors also get a nice amount, but this is just a start. This is just the beginning. My goal is to offer this every year, and my goal is to increase the number of students I teach as well as increase the dollar amount for the scholarships. So if you're interested in donating, please reach out to me. My name on Facebook, Humble Ascension. If you can't spell,
I'll put it down.
okay.
I'll put it in the description box below.
My other Facebook, Nina Simone, if you're already my friend on there, you're welcome to reach out as well. I only got that page due to personal reasons. I want a more intimate group of friends, people that I communicate with or people that I would reach out to or interact with. So that's the only difference. Let's see. You can also reach out to me on Instagram. My name is The Chosen One. I will give her that information to post. And also, I have a website, elitecarecprplus.com. And my email address is elitecarecprplus@gmail.com. So you can reach out to me on any of those platforms. I will respond in a timely manner. And I look forward to hearing from you.
Okay. So before we go, because we're gonna have to come back for a part 2 because it's just so much to talk about. Where do you see yourself and your business in 5 years?
Not in Knoxville alone. I plan on traveling, but this is my baby. I will always keep this facility here, but my goal is to train other people to become instructors. So if they don't want to start their own business, they can come work for Elite Care. Teach a few classes, go on home, do what you do.
So let me get this right, because I don't want to miss nothing. We got a mommy, a new mommy, a business owner, and you willing to help other people extend their businesses.
Yeah.
That is great, Simone.
Yeah.
Thank you for not giving up, though.
We got to. We got to help each other. Ain't nobody else going to help us. Not willingly, anyway.
That's true.
And y'all know who I'm talking about ain't going to help us either.
Yeah, that's true. But look, I know you right here. She right up the street. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get these 84 students put in these seats for this class. Do you have a date for the class?
My dates are July 6th, July 13th, July 20th, and July 27th.
So we need 84 students, and we need the money so that these kids don't have to pay out of pocket. So yeah, I'm asking for sponsorship. If you watch this video, any amount of due. I'm gonna drop all her stuff in the description box below. Or you can always DM me, hit me up, and I will connect you straight with Aleta. Aleta is very easy to talk to. Very, very, very easy to talk to. So yeah, anything else you want to talk about before we go?
I should have had something else to talk about.
We covered a lot.
It is. It is something I want to talk about. They're going to say, oh, she's so ratchet. bonnets.
No, you bet not.
I've been on Twitter going off today about bonnets. Let people wear what they wanna wear.
I agree. I like
As
to wear
long
my
as it's
little
not in a
wraps.
workplace, at a funeral. Come on now. Now we know when too much is too much. But if I'm and you see me in Kroger with my bonnet on, you say something, I'm gonna tell them people you stealing or something, cause you in the wrong person business. I'm gonna do something, but I don't get that. Why everybody be so mad about people wearing bonnets? They know they either don't want to mess their hair up, they hair messed up, or it's raining, or they just woke up. Whatever the case may be, leave people alone.
I agree, Simone. But then sometimes it just be like, really, girl.
Everybody had those moments.
It just be like, really.
Don't group everybody in together.
Okay.
Cause if I was getting ready for an event or something, and I had to run to the store, and I knew I didn't want my hair messed up, I don't care about you seeing me in my bonnet. Cause I'm about to get real cute in a minute. I know that. I'm aware of that. You're not. And that's okay. But if you see somebody you feel like you need to know, slide it out from the back. Don't make it look obvious. Don't make it. Slide it from the back.
I kind of feel like a hypocrite because me and my niece was at the airport. But my niece has long locks. Like her real hair is. I'm like, why do you have that bonnet on in the airport and you have locks? Like, you're not protecting a wrap. You don't have.
If she go to sleep, they gonna get on her nerves. I can tell you, because they get on my nerves so bad, but I love them. They get on my nerves. When I be asleep, I be ready to cut them out.
I'm like, look.
For real.
But I agree. I've been seeing it on Twitter and Facebook and even TikTok talking about bonnets. Let black women do them.
I'm going to tell you what hurt me more than anything. When people wear makeup the next day, like, you ain't going to wash your face.
Hey,
that get on my nerves
goes
more
a
than
long
anything.
way. Okay. But makeup now is costing $100 a face.
But you know.
You gonna get 2 days of this face.
You know you need to wash your face. I ain't knocking nobody, but that get on my nerves more than bonnets. I'm sorry, but
I got you.
just everybody mind y'all business. If you see somebody out, just go on about your day.
Facts. Y'all, this food was so good.
It is. It is.
Well, thank you so much, Aleta, for coming on and breaking bread with me. I am excited. This is my classmate. Big things coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have a blessed day. We love
Come
y'all.
follow the brick wall. It's your girl Eva K, and I'm ready to eat. Hey, who ready to eat with me? Who ready to come bread with me? Let's break bread. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. We about to eat this food and get fed. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. Now bow your head, cause we gotta say the grace, cause we about to eat. We about to eat. I can't wait to eat. Let's eat, big girls. Are you ready to eat? Come eat with me and let's talk. I want to get all in your business. What you gotta say? What you gotta say? I'm ready to laugh and I'm ready to play. Come on and break bread with your girl Eva K. Let's break bread, okay? Let's break bread, okay? Come break bread with me, let's break bread. Come break bread with me, let's break bread. We about to eat this food and get fed. Come break bread with me, let's break bread. T5, where you at?